Hi, I'm Lee.
Yes, hi everybody, I'm Sandra.
Hello everybody, I'm Nicky.
Hi, I'm Martin.
And together we are Brotherhood of Man. And thank you for watching Music News.
Yeah, keep watching.
Okay, Brotherhood of Man, it's great to see you. Feeling good today?
Yes,
Thank
absolutely
you.
great.
Well, Eurovision is upon us again. Always a good time of year for you?
Yes, always a busy time. I always say Eurovision is like Christmas. It comes once a year and it always brings goodies for us. Which is
Yes.
great.
Well, I mean, it must have good memories.
Oh, the best memories. How can it not have good memories? You know, we won for the country.
Yeah.
You know, but we were number one when we actually stepped out on that stage. So the public already had us as winners. So that was a nice thing, wasn't it?
Absolutely
Great memory.
great, yes.
I mean, does it feel like, 1976, or does it feel like yesterday?
It doesn't feel like yesterday, I can assure you that. No, it feels like a very, very long time ago. But, we are celebrating 47 years being together now.
Yeah.
And of course, after winning the Eurovision, being number one in 33 different countries with that song, of course we have spent our lives travelling and performing around the world, and of course still enjoying the success from that one night. So we've packed a lot in between 1976 and now, but I'm pleased to say that we are all still together and
Yeah.
still working.
Yes, I know, an accolade in itself. 16 albums. I mean, back then it was the biggest global audience anyone could almost hope to have.
Yes, well, basically, because if you wanted to see anything in those days, in the 70s, as you all know, there wasn't like, we'll do it on catch up. We'll catch it up tomorrow, or we'll look at MTV, or we'll watch this, or we'll put a video on. None of that existed, and that's what people forget. So if you wanted to see Top of the Pops, Miss World, Eurovision, any major show, you had to stay in to watch it. It's no good saying, we'll jump and catch up in a couple of days' time or whatever. It didn't exist.
I mean, being number one in 33 countries, that just wouldn't happen anymore. It's almost impossible because the setup is not there.
That again relates back to
Yeah.
what I was just saying, because we had to go and travel to each of these countries, because it wasn't like cinema this, cinema that. They can catch up, they can this, that, the other. We had to physically go, and that was a bit wearing, to say the least.
Yeah, and you see,
That's what made him grey,
a lot of people say to me, how many gold discs do you have and things like that. And, going on to what Martin was saying, I say to people, what you don't realise is that in those days, people had to physically go out and buy that piece of vinyl. And, for a silver disc, it was 250,000, for a gold, it was 500,000 sales, and for a platinum, it was 1 million. So that meant, being number one in 33 different countries, those people had physically gone out, paid their money, and in return got that piece of plastic. Whereas that doesn't happen nowadays, you
No,
see.
and I was one of them. It was the first single I ever bought or nagged my mother to buy was that, Save All Your Kisses for Me.
Oh, that's a round of applause for Marco. It's a round of applause.
Worth a round of applause there.
Ask him if he can sing the song now.
Not as good as you, unfortunately. But it has very happy memories for me. And I mean, even playing it, this morning, it sounds still as good as it ever did. What is? If there's a secret, what is the secret to that song?
Well, when we wrote it, and we tried to put everything into it, but there are lots of rules. People generally would only hear it once before they vote for it in the Eurovision. So it had to be very simple, something that they remember. And then we had to do the arrangement. We had all the little tricks on it, like the glockenspiel and the pizzicato strings and all those things, that the Spanish trumpets and all things like that. We put everything into it so that it was just a continuous thing all the way through. People wouldn't get bored until they got to the end.
Yeah.
And then of course we had the twist at the end, which was about the child and everything. And then we took a lot of time over the clothes. And then, of course, we had that dance, didn't we? Dance.
And that little dance was devised by Guy Luckman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was off Liftoff.
Yeah.
He was Liftoff fame. Presented the show, didn't he, with
Was it
Aisha?
Yes,
Aisha,
that's right. Yeah.
that's right.
Aisha Bruff,
And
yeah.
when he came into the studio, we were in a studio in Denmark Street then, and recording. And he came in and he said, I've just, I think you should do this little dance. And all of us, we all just looked at him in amazement and said, we can't do that. We can't do that, didn't we? We said, there's no way we can do that. But it's amazing how that dance became synonymous with the words when you were singing it, because quite often if we just had to sing the song, it was difficult, because the dance became part of that, whatever it was, wasn't it? The line.
It was just like the little icing on the cake of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
and it worked amazingly well. Still performing the dance to this day.
Touch
A
of.
touch of. And I tell you what I know as well, somebody was telling me that after we won the contest, and of course the dance became famous, at certain dance schools around the country, they were actually being taught the dance.
That's nice. Isn't that lovely?
Absolutely.
Lovely. I remember
That's
that.
true.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
a great
Yeah.
moment. You see, that song is responsible for so many things. I mean, I remember Martin and I going around Marks and Spencer's in Leeds, and we'd only just won, and we were walking through, and we thought, what's happening? And there were all these people following us because they knew. And then you heard somebody whistling the song, didn't you?
Singing the song, yeah.
Singing the song. Well, what a lovely accolade that is, to have written that, performed it, and then hear other people singing it. Because it's an infectious song, that.
Yeah, and like Christmas, every year it's rolled out again
Yeah.
and again, which must be fantastic.
Yes.
And people are still, to this day,
Oh,
still
sorry.
singing it. I know. It's
Yeah.
And what are your tips for people these days on Eurovision?
Well, do you know, last night I sat down and I listened to all the songs, all the 42 songs that are in for this year, and there's not much there, really. So, the outstanding favourite is the Netherlands, would you believe, this year?
Yes,
They-
one of the DJs actually said that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So they've got a 26% of winning, which is marvellous.
Yeah.
Russia were the only one anywhere near at 15%. UK 1%
Yeah.
chance of winning. But you ask, what can we do? Well, you just got to keep trying. That's all. Enjoy the contest for what it is now. Don't worry about winning too much. You don't win this year. Perhaps you'll win next time. I mean, 2 years ago Portugal won. Who'd have thought Portugal would win?
Yeah.
But they did.
I
So,
mean, back in the day, it was much more sort of serious. Obviously, when you won it yourselves, do you like what it sort of turned into?
It's a bit more
I
of a-
don't. I'll
bit
be
more of
honest,
a-
I don't.
It's the song
I don't.
contest has gone,
Mm.
and it's more graphics come
And
production.
gimmicks and everything, yeah.
I still would like to have the orchestra back.
Mm.
So that everybody has to perform with the orchestra. I
Yeah.
think that was a real plus for us. It's much better.
Yeah, to
And-
make it live.
Yeah, make
Yeah,
it
Like
really
when we
live.
did Top of
yeah.
the Pops.
Yeah,
we
like
had the
Top of
orchestra.
Pops. We
you
always
know.
used to have. We always sang with the orchestra.
That's right.
But today, look, hey, I'm old school, but today it's moved on. It's very graphic orientated, and I still love it. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. Love watching
yeah.
all the. It's a great production.
Show.
It's
Yeah,
a great
yeah,
show.
it is.
As Lee
It's
said,
huge
once a
production.
year, and we should enjoy it. For what it is. Forget. Okay, if we win, we win. But just be part of it. I think is the important part.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
yes.
it does bring countries together. All the artists that are there that are representing their country, it's a very friendly atmosphere, isn't it?
Oh,
We had a
absolutely.
wonderful atmosphere, didn't we?
Yeah.
A few events can bring the world
Yeah.
together, so many countries together.
That's right,
in
like the
spirit of
Olympics, you
music.
see?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the Olympics of music, isn't it?
Very true.
So-
And the other thing is as well, from the Eurovision, we have like a Eurovision family of winners. And often we appear, don't we, with
Yeah.
other winners
Yeah.
in really big shows. Like if
Yeah.
you're on about stadium venues in maybe Belgium or Holland or Germany or one of those countries. And of course, as well as us, we'll have other past winners on. And we meet up, don't we? Generally once a year, if not twice a year.
Well,
And
there's
we call it-
Johnny Logan.
Yes, there's Johnny Logan.
Dana.
Nicole
Yeah,
from Germany.
Yes. Then
The
there's
Olsen brothers.
The Olsen brothers
We
from
see them
Denmark.
often. Great song.
Katrina.
That was a
from
great
Katrina
song.
and the
Yeah.
Waves.
Yeah.
Loads
Yeah,
of them.
Dana,
And
yeah.
we always make a big fuss of seeing each other Because as Katrina always says, the nice thing now, we're not competing against each other because we've all won.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Part of
right,
the
yeah.
exclusive club.
Yeah.
And now you've got the Brotherhood of Man Gold, 3 CD, 60 song set
Amazing.
album to be released. A life's work. It must be sort of a proud moment now, having that sort of come out together.
It's great. It's great. I mean, I can't remember the last time we had a album out or anything like that. I mean, since the old king died, I think. But no, it's great. It's great fun. I mean, every track on there, everybody will know every track. There's nothing on there they go, what's that one? All the hits, number ones, and so forth. And we've got more to come. We've got even more songs. So, but no, it's great to have it out. We're very privileged. We're always happy, you know, for that situation to happen, and we hope people enjoy it. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I loved it. For sure.
As we always say, Martin, a mark of respect.
Absolutely.
Mark of respect.
It is. I mean, well, the career, you know, it has spanned sort of 16 albums. What did you find that it was sort of work after the Eurovision win?
Non-stop, wasn't it? We were on every flight you can imagine. We woke up, we didn't know what country we were in, did we? I mean, you know.
Can I give you an
Paris.
example of,
Yes,
of
go on.
one 24-hour day in the life of Brotherhood of Man then? Working at a nightclub in Manchester, the Golden Garter at Wythenshawe, there for a whole week every night. Going on stage 11 o'clock at night, coming off stage at midnight, getting back to the hotel, hopefully in bed by about 1:15, 1:30, getting up at 5:30 to go to a private airport, to get on a private plane to fly to France to do a lunchtime television show on the beach.
That's true.
Getting back on that plane, going to Holland, doing a tea time special show, which was live, getting back on the little private plane, being flown back across the channel, right? And
Back
then
on stage at 11.
back on stage at 11, and then back to the airport, whiz down on an aeroplane to Heathrow, quick little sleep turnover at home, Cilla Black show the next day, finish the Cilla Black show, a limousine waiting outside to take us back up to the Golden Garter at Wythenshawe to go back on stage at 11 o'clock.
Now that's amazing,
Incredible.
isn't it?
That was a
Yes.
day in the life of Brotherhood of Man in those days, the kind of thing we had to do.
Yeah. We didn't know what country we were in at one point,
No.
did we?
No.
No, you know. But we've had some great experiences, and we've had some fun times, haven't we?
Oh, very
really?
much, yes.
Good times.
Yeah. What happiest memories that you can think of that flood to mind?
Happiest memories. Well, I
There's
loved
so
it.
many, isn't there? It's
There's-
very,
Yeah, and we had a band. You know, we had
Yeah,
our own
yeah.
band at the time, musicians, and we had fun with them, didn't we?
We did, indeed.
We had lots of laughs and worked with some wonderful orchestras, didn't we? Worked with really great
See,
orchestras.
the one thing about the four of us is that we all have the same sense of humour, the in-group sense of humour, and we very easily and readily laugh.
Together. Yeah.
Together.
Well, that must be important.
I mean, really, and that really does help. You know, that's got us through the 47 years, plus the admiration that we all have for each other's talent
Yeah.
as well, which is, you know, very highly
Yeah.
respected and
Yeah.
valued.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
And
if it-
it's the best. It was the best day of my life. I met these three.
Ah,
That's
Oh,
sure,
there you
yeah.
go.
And then, of
Ah.
course, I didn't realise I'd fall in love with one of them, so
Yes.
here we are. And we've been together how many years? Are we on our, I always forget our
350.
anniversary.
350 years anniversary.
So, yeah.
Is there going to be any new material?
Well,
I probably not now. If we're
No.
honest, you know, we've recorded about 250 songs altogether in our lifetime. So there's plenty out there for everyone. I think that's probably enough now.
yeah, but that's not to say that you haven't got the talent to do it, because you have. They could write. I know songs have moved on. Music has moved on, and it's more sounds than anything. Although there are still some
there's
great
still some
songs.
nice melodies come out now and
Yeah,
then.
there are.
You know, if it's right, if you
Yeah.
hit the button.
Lee
Yeah.
once wrote a song on his own called About Fred Astaire, and I tell you, wasn't that a great song?
Oh,
it was.
It
We didn't
was,
record it
but-
though, did we?
No.
No,
No.
sure.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Yeah. But no, the talent's still there. It's just whether you've got the vehicle to actually make it a hit, or to
Yes.
be, isn't it? It's that.
Yeah, it's
really.
not just the singer and the you know, the song, you've got to have the backing of the record company, and you've got to have
it's
someone like Debbie to promote it for us, and all sorts of things. You know, you
But
need
even-
a whole load of things.
You do,
to
but
make
even
it hit
promotion
these
has
days.
gone. It's gone in a different way now,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
You know,
But
it's
do you
not
think-
like
very
it used to
different.
Do
be.
you think it was easier back then, or it's harder now, or easier then? You know, for
I think
young
it's
bands
harder
making it
now.
now.
I think it's hard.
I think
No.
because we were then, we can look at it and say it's harder now.
Mm.
But those that are doing it now for the first time know no different, so they wouldn't know if it's hard or easier. They can't turn around and say, well, it was easier back in the 70s. But as Sandra was saying, I'd like to say something that you were saying
go on.
earlier. You know, we were able to do a lot of our apprenticeship back in the 70s due to venues that were open 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
There was an
Yeah.
abundance of places for artists to work. You were never out of work, never out of work. We never used to have a night off.
No.
It's very different nowadays. You have
Yeah.
to become a star first and then learn your trade the second.
That's almost the
Yeah.
way round it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Whereas
is.
we were lucky, we had it. We all had a great amount
Yeah,
of
we
stage
did.
experience. Yeah.
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 I mean, and live, obviously, you're still going. The chemistry's still there. Do you
Yes.
ever foresee a time though you go, right, this will be our sort of farewell tour?
No. The secret is to do less. In other words, as you get older, you do a bit less, but you don't give up. You carry on, and you take all those lovely things that come along, and all the rubbish things they select. Can you do? Oh, sorry, no, not available for that. In other words, we can just pick what we want to do. It's wonderful, absolutely.
I'd like
fantastic.
the final thing, which would be very sad actually, but I would like us to do something like the Pudsey Bear thing. You know, the
Oh yes.
what do they call the charity?
charity,
For the
yes,
charity.
yes.
I'd love us to do something like that, a big concert with lots of other artists that, you know, have been around in our era. If they're still going, mind you, a lot of them still are.
Absolutely, yeah. No, they're all coming back, going, reformed.
We're
yeah.
having our Zimmer frames made as we speak.
I have to be honest. I really can't imagine. I never want to go there of the last time we performed together.
No, it would be a
I
very
really-
difficult night.
In fact, I don't think I could go through it, so I won't turn up.
No, maybe Lee's got the answer. We just go until there's nothing left in the book. There's not another gig put in the book.
That's
And
good
then
to hear.
fade
that's it.
away.
And then
Yeah.
we just fade away. That's right.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah.
But what's the, yeah.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to be.
Yeah, look. You see, they can come back anytime. They can do a show anytime. It's a tour.
When you first started, what were your musical ambitions?
Music. Oh, what was yours, Nicky?
Oh, it was to make it.
Yeah. yeah.
All of us, wasn't it?
To
I
make
mean, in those
Well,
days,
yes.
when I was 16, I used to watch, what was it, Ready, Steady, Go, was
Yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Or what was the one?
Yeah.
What was
Oh,
that?
that was Alan Freeman.
Alan
wasn't it?
Freeman's
Was it?
show and all that, you know, pop pickers and all.
Yeah.
And I used to watch things, people like The Searchers or The Shadows, and I used to think, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could write a song, be on the telly like that. Little did I know that some of these would become my friends.
Yeah.
That you think that you used to look at on TV back then in the 60s, and you've achieved something, you know, that you've achieved that, and you can't believe it really. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's all there if somebody wants to do it. It is
And there's
all there.
nothing. There's
Yeah.
nowhere else I want to go. There's no. I don't want to go any further up the ladder. Where I am now
Yeah.
is perfect.
Yeah.
It's comfortable, and I'm happy with that. So you know.
I remember
what it's
when with the Eurovision watching the New Seekers, and that was only a few
Yes.
years before us.
Yeah.
And I remember where I was. I was at home in South Wales at my mother's house, and I remember watching the Eurovision, thinking, of course I hadn't met Martin and Sandra then or anything, and Lee. My goodness me, how wonderful it must be to be in a show like that.
Yeah.
Little did I realise,
That's what I'm
just
saying.
a few years, literally a few years later, not only, you know, would we have been in the show, but won it as well, you know.
And
Yeah,
to do
incredible.
and to do Top of the Pops with people like, to watch with a live orchestra, to watch Dusty Springfield on the floor there singing, for me was wonderful. To meet these people personally that I'd actually admired when I was a youngster. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and like Lulu, I mean, look, there you are. There's a you
Oh
know,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she's a legend, that's for sure. Very
Absolutely.
talented. So,
As you all are. I mean,
Oh,
it's
thank you.
been a pleasure. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
you gave me the time.
Thank you so much.
I mean, and thanks a lot for releasing Brotherhood of Man Gold. What if you all had to pick one of your favourite songs, one each from this forthcoming album? What would you pick?
Circus Comes to Town, number.
When I was a little boy,
Can't remember the
loved
number. On
it
the first-
when
on
the
the-
circus came
To my town.
Da, da, da.
Heartbreaker.
Second
I love
album.
Heartbreaker.
Excellent.
Lee,
Yeah,
what would you
I
like?
choose. I was going to choose that.
Ah, there you are. That's why I got in second.
Heartbreaker, yes.
Good song.
Heartbreaker could have been, if we'd have released it at the right time, well, you know, in with all our hits, or yes, the next one is Heartbreaker, it would have been a huge hit. But that didn't happen. But it's still a great song. If anybody wants it, have a listen.
Still time.
Mm.
Can I have two choices?
Absolutely.
No.
Ah, how can you get two?
Well, of ours, Heartbreaker, but I did love our version of He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother,
Yeah.
because it's such a close four-part harmony, and nobody would expect to hear Brotherhood of Man in that style. And even though it was one of the first things we recorded, I've always been very, very proud of that.
Mm. In fact, we did that on the Silver Jubilee
Yes.
in front of Her Majesty.
Yes, we did.
didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes.
For the, what was the fund?
It was the it wasn't the Silver Jubilee. It was the St John's
Sorry.
Ambulance Centenary.
It was St John's Ambulance Centenary.
Centenary.
That's right, and we performed in front of the Queen.
Yeah.
And we performed He Ain't Heavy
Yeah, and Kisses. Yeah.
and Kisses.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. Anything else you'd like to say to Music News watchers out there?
Well, yeah, I mean, enjoy music.
Enjoy the album.
Yes,
Yeah.
enjoy the album.
Yes, buy it.
Have
yeah,
fun.
Yes, and enjoy the Eurovision.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks.